Hello Scorpio and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements looking at your connection between you and the person that you are dealing with and are needing to learn the most from right now. We'll be looking at all three sides of the connection. We'll look at your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it. The concept being that there are three sides to every story. So we're looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle. This middle section, we'll be looking at what is the deeper purpose of the connection and the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and to leave what does not. On that note, and especially if you're a cross watcher, just know that this whole reading can be reversed. If that is the case for you, that is totally fine and totally normal. Again, the point is to take what helps and leave what doesn't. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Scorpio, we're going to jump on in. We're going to start with looking at your energy toward the connection, their energy toward the connection, and the truth in between the connection with oracle cards first, and then we'll dive deeper into the reading with tarot as we progress. But first, I just want to get a feel for what's going on here. Let's start, Scorpio, with your side of this connection toward the person you're dealing with and are needing to learn the most from right now. Scorpio's energy toward this person. Okay. Dream come true with love and know your worth. This is one of those connections that I feel like felt very instant, almost as if you met this person and the attraction was there, the feelings were there, and I feel like as this connection, grew, as it evolved, especially in the beginning of it, it almost felt as if it was this dream come true kind of energy. And there's so much, love and care that you have for this person, that I can tell that you have for this person. And I feel like that love and that care it's almost as if this is, you have so much love to give, so much compassion that you bring in this connection, but it feels like you're missing the feeling of receiving that exact same love, care, and compassion back. It doesn't mean that it's not there at all, but I do feel that your feelings are so strong and you have so much to give to this relationship, to this person. And it just feels like they're not reciprocating that in some way. And I feel like that has made things really complicated for you because you know that you want more or desire more out of this connection, out of your relationships. But I feel like because the feelings are so strong, it makes it really hard for you when it comes to knowing exactly what to do and how to handle this. So let's see what else we got. Let's dive into this even more. This person's energy toward you. Oops. Ooh. Codependency was the first one out, with grief and sadness and trapped. And then on the bottom here, there is the soulmate recognition card. I feel like this person has the same feelings for you that you have for them. And I think that might be hard for you to really feel or see because of the way that they do show up. I feel like their energy is very shut down. It's almost as if they see that this connection provides them with what it is that they do desire, but it's almost like they're shutting it out. in some way. Now, this trapped card makes me feel that they are stuck in a cycle or an experience that does very much block them from having the love that they deserve and desire. I feel like this person does desire more out of this connection, but it's interesting because their actions don't show that. So it's like they have certain feelings, but then their actions are in alignment with something else. And it's interesting because like both with this trapped and codependency card, you know, there's kind of this need for a key, right? This need for a key. And it's almost as if this person is needing to find the key to set themselves free in some sort of way, so that they can have the love that they deserve and desire. Now, that might sound really vague, probably because it is. And I definitely want to, you know, before we dive into like what's really happening, I want to get clarity through tarot because I feel like there's a lot more to this story. Okay, truth of this connection, Scorpio, between you and this person. Whoa. Redacted. The redacted card to me always is this this indication that there's more to the story, that there are certain things that aren't clear right now, that are needing to be brought to light and needing to be seen and addressed. And I don't, specifically with sorry, I got a lot coming through. Specifically with how this connection has unfolded and like the reason and purpose behind that. With this unfinished business card, I feel like you see this connection as, you know, having so much potential, so much room to grow, so much room to get to a really wonderful place here. But I feel like that is what you've been fighting for. And it's so interesting because the way that it kind of comes through is like you're fighting for this potential in this connection. And it's almost as if this person is fighting against it, even though they do desire it. Sorry, I have a dog hair in my eye. So I want to know why. I want to know what's going on. I feel like you probably do too, or maybe you do know. But again, there's more to the story. So it's almost as if they won't let you or let themselves be loved in some way. All right, overall theme of this reading. What is Scorpio needing to know? You have ignoring the pain. So I feel like there's this desire, right, for this potential, something that we've kind of talked about a lot in this reading. There's this desire for this potential, and I feel like you're not in a place right now in this connection where you're feeling happy or secure or safe or loved or chosen or valued in the way that you deserve and desire, and you're almost waiting to get to the place where you do feel that way. There's so much, like I said, that I feel like you're pouring into this connection and you're pouring into this person out of hopes of what things could look like in the future. But in the meantime, I feel like you're hurting a lot. I feel like there's a part of you that's really struggling with how things are unfolding here because you aren't getting what you need. There is a lot of self-sacrifice going on. You love me and we will overcome this. I feel like you're seeing this this time in this connection as things stand right now, as something that will be worth it in the end, right? When we get to a certain place, when things evolve to a certain point, then we'll be, then it'll be worth it. Then we'll be happy. Then I'll feel the way that I desire to feel. I feel like you do know that this person loves you and cares about you and has feelings for you, even though they don't necessarily show it in a lot of ways, or their behavior might not back it. Which, is going to make things really complicated. When you can tell that somebody cares about you, but then their actions, maybe are a little bit not in alignment with what we deserve, it's really complicated because we know their heart, but yet we're having to deal with the consequences of their actions. So I feel like there's a lot to unpack here for sure. I also feel like you're needing to be aware of something here. I don't know what yet though. It's like there's something that I feel it's like this this truth or this this information or this knowledge that is like trying to like come through. I literally see like this visual of it. I just don't know what it is. So let's see if we can bring that forth in this reading. All right, know your worth with Dream Come True. Let's start, Scorpio, with your side of this connection to the person you are dealing with. Scorpio's energy toward this person. You could be dealing with a fire sign, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. You have the King of Wands in reverse, though. You're at a really stagnant place with this connection right now, feeling very stuck. The Moon. There's a lot of fear surrounding this connection, too, surrounding if this doesn't work out, if things don't get to a certain point. Page of Cups. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. King of Cups. The Nine of Swords. The Two of Wands and the Hangman. Okay, this is what I was kind of getting at when I was looking at this overall energy, is especially with this Page of Cups, I feel like you see kind of through this person's actions and you really see their heart. There's a lot of empathy and understanding coming from your energy here. I feel like you like I said, and I said this so much at the beginning, and I said it a lot because I could feel it. It's just, there's so much compassion and love and empathy that I feel like you have for this person and for their experience. And I feel like you have this intention of just wanting them to feel loved and chosen and valued and ultimately all the things that you desire too. And I do feel like you're showing up in the best way that you know how to, be what this person needs to make them feel happy, to make them feel good. And with this King of Cups here, this could be a water sign energy, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, but I really see this as the energy that you're sitting in. It's an energy of emotional intelligence and emotional awareness and just being so empathy. Empathy is the word that keeps coming through. So empathetic about this person's experience that it almost as if it's like, you're connected to them on this like energetic level where you know their heart, you know their soul, but then the version of them that they show up as brings you a lot of fear and anxiety because it's like, that they love you, that they care about you. And again, I feel like, instantly when this connection, started, these feelings were so strong and there was such a magnetic pull that I feel like you had toward each other that it almost as if it's deepened, those feelings, because I feel like you're probably just an empathetic person in general, but specifically toward this person, because of the way that they've made you feel, I feel like it's almost like that times 100. But again, it's like the version of them that that they can be, right? That version of them that they're capable of being, like that's the version of them that I feel like you have really kind of, I don't know if fallen in love with is the right word, or that you've really come to like know and love. Like that version of them you're very connected to. But then the version of them that they show up as, again, sparks a lot of fear. It sparks a lot of anxiety, because then you're almost like, I know and I see this potential in this connection, and I see what this could be, and I see how this could eventually make me happy and make, align with what it is that I deserve. But, the version of them, the things that they do now or the decisions that they're making, it almost as if goes against building that potential. So it brings you a lot of fear and anxiety, because then there's this part of you that goes, well, if that never changes, like if this person never changes, or if they keep doing these things or whatever, and I don't know what that is yet, we're going to dive into that when we look at their energy, then that must mean that I can never feel the way that I could feel if this connection, ever got to that point. So there is this energy of kind of being in a place of suffering in this connection right now. And it's not that you're miserable all the time. Maybe for some of you are, but I feel like you're in this place where you're like, oh, this will be worth it in the end. Yes, I'm struggling. I don't feel loved, chosen, valued, the things that I want to feel, but I know someday I could, and that'll make it all worth it in the end. So it's almost like putting yourself in this position of suffering for what this connection could be in the future. And I think that there's something that needs to be addressed about that. Because we attract what we put into, right? If we accept less than what we deserve, we attract more of that. But I do feel like there's a lot more complication with this connection because of the intensity of it and the way that it does make you feel. So let's dive into this person's energy toward you. Trapped, grief and sadness. You had the Two of Wands. They have it in reverse. Two of Wands in reverse. The Tower. Two of Cups. Five of Wands. And the Moon. You also have the Moon. Okay, yeah, this person is in a really complicated place. They seem to be stuck in a karmic cycle, or and this goes back to what I was saying at the very beginning. The Lovers in reverse is the last card with the Ten of Wands on the bottom, where it's like they're stuck in something, but they're the only ones who have the key to like break themselves out. It feels like they're making decisions that don't actually align with their desires, which makes sense. Kind of the things that I was feeling in their energy and in your energy too, right? They have this Two of Cups, and I feel like they do have a lot of love here for you. I feel like their feelings here are mutual. I feel like, they do feel the way that you think that they feel about you. I feel like that's not untrue, but there's something so much more than that, because with this Tower here, it kind of feels like this person has a tendency to really set fire to things that align with what it is that they do deserve and desire. And they don't do this intentionally. Remember, 95% of our movements, choices, and decisions stem from our subconscious. Only 5% of the way we interact with our reality is conscious level decision making, which means that we are wired to make certain decisions. We're wired to make decisions that align with what we're used to. So if we're used to not having what it is that we deserve and desire, and this is the funny thing about humans, when we're used to not having what it is that we deserve and desire, we make decisions that align with what we're used to, not with what it is that we actually want. And that's where self-sabotage really comes into play. And until we become aware of how we do this and start to show up differently, this is just how we're wired. And that's what a karmic cycle is. It's when we're stuck in making decisions that don't align with our highest good, but align with ego or wounding or fear. And I feel like this person is making a lot of decisions that align with those things, with fear, wounding, or ego. Now, they're in this almost like perpetual state of being at war with themselves, where they obviously have these feelings, but they're very driven and wired into different decisions, right? So they desire this connection, but yet they make the decisions that align with certain karmic experiences, whether that's running away, whether it's choosing connections that are a little bit more surface level and don't make them have to face as much vulnerability, whether it is, just self-sabotaging and pushing you away in general. Whatever it is, it feels like they have this tendency of almost not like shutting this connection down or putting it in a position where it doesn't have this ability to grow into that potential. And deep down, I mean, with the Lovers in reverse here, this person struggles with their own sense of worth, self-worth. They don't feel worthy and deserving of what it is that you give. And it's almost as if there is this part of them that feels broken. It's like there's this part of them that feels so deeply unlovable that you come around with all of this unconditional, love and empathy, and it makes them like go, why? Why are you, being so nice to me or choosing me or loving me? Like, I'm not deserving of it. And obviously you're over here like, because I know that you are deserving of it, you just don't see that. So it's almost like what's happening here. And this is where I feel Spirit is asking you to get a little bit clear on what's going on, is you are in the middle of this person's battle within themselves and you're trying to fight it for them, right? You see that they're making certain decisions, maybe from ego, from wounding, from feeling unlovable. You see that and you want to come in and you want to help them see that they're worthy and deserving of more. You're trying to show them that they're lovable. You're trying to be that love for them. And it's ultimately in this war with this person's self, it's made you a casualty. It's put you in this position of being very hurt by this person's self-sabotage. And it's so interesting because I think when people make decisions that don't align with what we deserve, we often think that it means that they don't see our value, right? But people make decisions that align with the value that they believe that they have. Someone can have a genuine desire to love us, to be loved by us, but not make the decisions that align with what it is that they need to do in order to get what they deserve, right? So they have a desire to experience the love that you provide, but if they're pushing it away, if they're sabotaging it, if they're not giving themselves an opportunity to grow in this connection, then they're keeping themselves from the thing that they desire. It's not that they're rejecting you in any way. It's self-rejection. And I think that there's a need to understand that the decisions that this person is making, it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with how they see you, with how they perceive you. And I feel like you really wear your heart on your sleeve for this person. And it honestly is very beautiful. And I think that, you have so much to give. And I've said that so many times throughout this reading, because I feel like because you give so much and you're not met where you deserve to be met, it almost is like you're starting to maybe doubt if what you have to give is enough. Absolutely it is. You have so much beautiful energy to give, and the lack of reciprocation has less to do with the value of what you provide and more to do with where this person is at in their own emotional experience. And I think that that's where we have to understand that our relationships with other people are a mirror. And they're not showing us what needs to be healed in them, although it's easier to see that, right? It's showing us what needs to be healed in us, because we accept the love that we think that we deserve in this moment. And if we believe that we have to suffer and self-sacrifice and be miserable in order to one day be loved, then what we're essentially saying is, I am unlovable right now today. I will be lovable and worthy and deserving when I suffer for this enough, when I give enough of myself to this person and make myself worthy. Then all be valuable. But what that does is it keeps us trapped in this perpetual cycle of not having what it is that we need and what it is that we deserve, because what we're doing is we're pouring into people who literally do not have the capability, because of where they're at in their world and in their journey, to do the same for us. So we become everything that they need, and then we're not being what we need, and they're not being what we need. So then who's being what you need, Scorpio? And that's where I feel Spirit is trying to direct your attention to, because you are not here to suffer for the love of another person. You are here to show yourself what you are worthy and deserving of. And naturally, that is going to show other people what they're worthy and deserving of. But if you're dealing with somebody who is standing in a lot of darkness, and I do feel like this person is struggling with a lot, right? Hurt people kind of thing. Those people are going to be very intimidated by your light. They're going to shut out your light because it brings things up in them that they don't want to deal with. And I think that that's what you're needing to understand. This person isn't running from this or isn't doing the things that they're doing because they don't love and care about you. They're not doing the things that they need to do for this connection because they don't love and care about themselves enough to do so. And that is not yours to fix. You can't fix it. So understanding that, that's where we have to make sure that we are not trying to be a martyr for other people's journeys, for other people's healing journeys. Because if that's the case, then we're avoiding our own. We avoid our own healing journey in the pursuit of self-sacrificing for somebody else's. And that right there is what Spirit is asking you to take a look at, because that cycle is keeping you trapped in a lot of pain in an experience that doesn't align with what you deserve. I'm going to hop on over to the extended. I know that there's, some honest truths that I feel Spirit is bringing through, but not to take you away from the love that you deserve and desire, but to help you move closer to it, because the love that we deserve and desire isn't found in another person. It's found within ourselves first. And then, yes, we absolutely get to experience that in another person. But if we believe that we as we are unworthy or undeserving, and we're only worthy and deserving if we suffer enough, or if we give enough, or if we, show that we're worthy and deserving enough to somebody else, then what that means is you're saying essentially, I am inherently unlovable, and I am only enough if I am showing you that I'm enough, if I am enough for you, if I am healing you, if I am making you whole. And that leaves you experiencing the mirror of, I am inherently not enough. And I think that's what Spirit's asking you to address, because that's the biggest thing keeping you stuck in this cycle. So we're going to hop on over to the extended. We're going to dive a lot deeper into this. You've got unfinished business with redacted. We're going to look at the deeper purpose of this connection and the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. Any information for that is in the description box below. Thank you so much, Scorpio, as always, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated in a way that you were needing today, even if, there were some deeper things that were coming through. I obviously hope that it helped, and I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Scorpio.